Welcome to Sunday OJ, season 5. Season 2, episode 5. We are rolling. You said I almost fucked up,
This motherfucker
but
said
yeah.
season 5,
Yo, you
dog.
know what's funny? Every time we start this joint, OG be so nervous and mess it up every week. That's the
my, my,
hypeness though.
my,
That's the love for the pod though, bro.
yeah, I got the energy today. I'm not outside. I'm not getting the nature vibes, and
Jesus
today, yeah,
Christ,
you know
nigga
what
took the
I'm
nature vibes.
saying.
Sick of y'all shit, man.
Nah, y'all was mad at me last week because I was catching the nature vibes, but y'all was,
Yeah,
you know.
you was doing too much. Sit your ass in the house.
Yep, I've been doing too much. 5 games in a row. You heard? 5 games in a row. I've been
On
doing
them
too
ball
much.
out bros.
Five G,
Weak
The
ass
ball,
motherfucker.
nah,
five G.
they
He
the
went from
ball out.
OG to 5G. Y'all feel that?
Ooh, I like that. I like
OG to
that.
5G. Putting the words on the screen for this part.
But you made a mistake, Weezy. It's the ball out O's because they
Oh,
ain't got
yeah.
no wins and they don't score points. They stinky.
Hey, we held both of the same dude to 0. Donut. Stinky. How you do that 2 games in a row? Like, how? You didn't even score a point. Like, you didn't catch an interception, return a
Yo,
touchdown, fumble, a
I ain't gonna
field goal.
lie. His man's was about to get left on 0-2 and then lagged out. It was 28-0 in the first quarter. So yeah, then it lagged out. But and then I would have had 3 shutouts in a row, but it's all good because I'm 5 games in. Uh, First things first though. I want to get to a conversation about this. Who cares vibes?
Oh boy.
Um, yes, fresh and direct. So, in you guys' opinions, what do you think is doing to the league? Like the energy, the nature of the league. This who cares vibes. What do you think is doing?
I'm gonna let Weezy go first.
I think it's doing nothing because we still playing. And my honest opinion, like, we're still playing. Only people that saying that is people who losing, who have excuses. Like, we're all still playing. I'm still
No,
playing
no,
under.
no. I'm saying it about it being said. Like when you're in the chat and somebody just they lose and it's all of a sudden who cares vibes. Like I'm asking you guys, what does it do to the nature of the league and how is like what type of energy does it bring like in a week to week basis?
Doesn't affect me because I'ma still play, and they just saying it because they're losing. I gotta
No,
say what you're trying
I'm
to
not
say.
saying what affects you. I'm saying to the league because on a week to week basis, people lose and I'm gonna say who cares vibes. So the next thing
Mhm.
it's gonna do is gonna get like it's
Like, other
gonna
people gonna start
affect.
saying it.
It's gonna be toxic. I don't want to. Well, it's gonna be toxic enough to then it's gonna trickle down to the next person. Like somebody loses, like it's who cares vibes. Somebody loses, somebody trash. It's who cares vibes. It's dev season. Like I think that is becoming very
Go ahead.
fashionable in the league, and to me, it
Okay.
isn't fair because
Mm,
then that gives an excuse. And I don't want to put nobody on blast, but let's say they saying who cares for one season, right? But then
mm-hmm.
how can you say you're better than somebody if you playing the who cares card and you're not doing good? What you're gonna do is use your past success to say you're
So,
better than somebody.
what you saying? How Ao did Itchy? How he said he overall better
No,
than him?
I'm just speaking in general
I
because
know, but what you
there's
saying
a
is
bunch
that's
of
what
people
happened.
on who cares vote on who cares vibes.
But
Vale's
that's
on
but
supposedly
it's, it's
dead vibes. Ayo's supposedly on who care vibes. Omega's supposedly on who care vibes. Um, it's just trickling down, and I feel like that excuse just needs to get thrown out the window and just say, okay, this Madden or this season I'm just not as good, but I'm going to get back to it season 2. I think like the excuse of who cares, it's just bringing this if I can call it this like a sense of like a disease, and everybody's using it, and it's becoming like come on, like everybody. I know everybody when somebody sees a who cares vibe is like come on now, or
mhm.
somebody beats somebody and they hit him with the who cares vibe. It's like come on now, you get what I'm saying? Like when you beat
What
Omega,
she did. Oh
it was
yeah,
yeah, like what you do when you beat Omega was strictly who cares? Like I don't care. I got a lot of shit going on.
yeah. I felt like that was corny. What he said, it was corny because if we would have won, he wouldn't have said.
So well before we move on to the next question, I want to know how do you feel about that Screen?
I agree with you. I think it's detrimental because and this is something a lot of us don't even think about either. There's dudes on the wait list waiting to get in what they consider a good league. So for any given Sunday on Xbox to be considered a good league, and you have people basically saying, and I'm gonna address a deeper point too, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point, but telling people to kick you because you don't care right now, you want who care vibes. you really don't care about the league in a sense. It's just like that's not what you're here for. You know what I'm saying? That's not what you should be doing. You should be playing every game in and out unless you can't and you got to give a force win up or whatever the case may be. You should at least be putting in the effort. Even the dudes who be quiet and losing are putting in more effort than you when you talking a lot.
Mm.
That says more about you than it does the dudes who be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So that's not cool if you ask me. Um, I think that is one of those situations where you are in this league to play games. You're not in this league to BS or just hold up a spot because you've been here for a long time. I respectfully, I almost barely got in the league. I was 32nd pick at one point before people were getting kicked out for being on BS during the team reveal stuff. So you got to appreciate your spot, and if you don't appreciate your spot, to give it up. That's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's fair to just be on some, oh, I stink, but my repertoire, my reputation is good. Nobody care about your reputation, but we care about right now. If you're not good right now, why do I care about what you did in the past? And the perfect example we always use is Trent. Trent is consistent. The man brought up last night when he was arguing with Bang, El Mel, and Slop. 9 Super Bowls is luck. Trent got the best record in the league right now, as it stands right this moment. You know what I'm saying? So consistency is gonna get rewarded, and you're gonna get praised for being consistent. If you
I like. Oh, go ahead. Go. I'm
inconsistent,
sorry.
if you being inconsistent right now and then making excuses for your inconsistency, nobody gonna take you serious, and you're gonna be the butt of every joke. That's just
Can you drop
that.
a flex bomb? Can you drop a flex bomb? Do you got a flex bomb that you could drop? Because that needs to. Like, we need that.
Oh wait, it didn't
'Cause
go off.
that
I'm gonna
was
do it
very.
again.
Yeah, we need that flex bomb for that because it's true what you say, and I like what you said. Some people that to me that's selfish because this is the next question I was going to ask. Like, why is it important to change the mindset of the league to get out that who cares mind frame? Because a couple of seasons ago, before it became a thing, like people were losing, it'll be a friendly it will be a friendly back and forth about, oh, I'm better than you better than me, instead of it being like, who cares? 2K's out, or who cares? Call of Duty's out. I just don't like that excuse because we all sit here and play this game for 2 hours. Okay, I'll give you this. Some may not want to. It'll be a who cares on getting better at the game, but it's never who cares on losing because I lose all the time, and I was 0-8, and I already the hairs on my back were standing like, nah, I can't be 0-8. The people are gonna remember this and just drag it, and I'm not gonna use the stance of who cares because I actually like my stance. I like to be the middle of the pack. I don't want to be the bottom of the pack. I don't want to be where them ball out O's is at or nothing like that because that's what I'm saying. That's part of your who you are. So like, how can we change that mindset? How do you think we could change that mindset?
I mean, we definitely have other things in the league that can keep people around. I think the wager idea that Weezy runs. Shout out to Weezy for the wagers. Super shout out to Bang for just winning my wagers, giving me another +5. I'm about to figure out how to use that. I think the wager thing is dope, and I think some of the things that you guys have in the works. I'm under NDA, so I can't talk about it. I think some of the things you guys got in the works are what is going to keep people around and keep the league consistent. One thing you even beat me over the head about when we ran DJL together, doing the Twitter thing or the stories for the league is something that keeps me going. At least I've done a story every single week, by week included, and I'm just calling the division out because they ain't done a damn story since like week 2, bro. Like the NFC West ain't got a story since week 3. So there are ways to stay active, keep engaging in the league, and have fun. You just got to use your resources, and if you're not using them, that's your fault. So like next year, this time when we doing Madden 24, and let's say the entire NFC West picks like 16 and later, none of y'all should complain. Y'all not putting no stories in to get nothing to team selection. So for the people who are on those who care stuff and not putting in no effort into the league, you get what you put in. That's just how I see it, though. You get what you put in.
So with Weezy, you got anything to add to that?
Like you say something. You go ahead. I'm gonna copy off you. Not copy you. I'm gonna go after you. Go ahead.
But no, I
Man said I'm
already
copying your
had.
I said,
I
I'm like,
already.
yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna go after you.
Yeah, he's twerking in his car seat right now, ladies and gentlemen. But
Hey yo.
I already I already had made a comment about that. But with the who cares vibes, right? after that, because who cares is part of trolling, right? I mean, a sense of trolling, which is I believe is childish. That type of trolling, the who cares, I believe. But what is a healthy troll though? Because there is a overboard of trolling, and there is a healthy kind of troll you can bring to the league and have fun and everybody laugh. Um, or is it only when you're comfortable with someone you can troll them? I want Weezy to answer this question because he's more on the trolling lane heavy. So like, do you feel that like trolling can come from somebody that you build a relationship with throughout the years of the Madden League, and you can't troll somebody new as hard, or you can troll everybody equally?
I actually troll everybody hard when they come in the league. I still do, but we haven't had nobody new really. So I already trolled with Bang and the other two people who talk. But yeah, I think you can troll with anybody, and like you start playing people more a lot, and like you troll with them because like example, somebody I troll with a lot is JaVale and Trent. I troll with them a lot. Like they come in and talk shit, but I know it's Smitty. You know what I'm saying? Troll people like that, but it's all out of love. Like, I'm not here like motherfucking hating them or nothing. You just be good trolls. You remember everybody's join the league. As soon as they first join, as soon as they get an invite, who the fuck sent you an invite? I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
my
yeah.
I do my little investigation and shit, and like,
But
so yeah. But I
what would
think
you
it's
consider
bad
over the
trolls.
line?
I think it's bad trolls when people say it's I don't care vibes. That's a bad troll because
Mm,
if you was winning, you would care.
mm,
Like example for me, even though I'm losing, you can in the chat you can type in certain words that come up. I never want to say I didn't care this season. I just said I'm sneaking. I'm still doing what Q said he does. I'm still doing my weekly stories. I remember Jay one time. Well, he don't troll. I mean, he trolls, but he has no excuse. But one time Jay said, "You know how hard it is to keep losing and still do weekly wagers." What's it called? Weekly stories. I feel him, and I understand what he's saying now. Like I'm losing, I'm still doing weekly stories, but it's like I'm in it for the league, and like I remember your last question you were saying like the dude who got kicked out of us when he picked the Saints. Some people, well, I'm piggybacking on what Keith was saying. Some people in certain leagues, like our league, we do more besides play. Other people leagues, some people really just load up and play. They don't do all that talking every day, texting, and do a channel, do a story, have a food channel, do this. Some
They
people
don't
really
even have a
just,
game of the week. They don't have
yeah,
commentary.
they
They
just
don't
they
they
just
don't have a
play.
podcast.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? There's many different layers and ways to interact at any given Sunday. Like with the highlights that we do, even though people don't always send them in, we give people various ways to interact within the league. So how can you say you want who cares because you're not winning? So when you win, you interactive. When you win, you got all this energy and smoke for everybody. That's just corny.
And that's the thing with who cares, which is why I'm pleading for it to stop because I believe the who cares energy will kind of make somebody like, yeah, you're right. You know what? You know when you drill something into somebody's head, just like a song you hear on the radio every day before going to work. If you
mhm.
hear it enough times, you're gonna go to work singing this shit. So if who cares keeps getting drilled in, then the energy of the league, and I'm not saying that's what's happening now. I'm just saying the energy of the league will go somewhere else, and then people will start trying to participate in certain things, it, or trying to be involved. Like we have a community, and like I believe like 25 of us users we can consider a Madden family, like actually Madden family, because we've been together for so long. I just wanted to keep it like that instead of it going south. You understand? You guys understand what I'm saying?
That
I
that
think
makes
it'd be.
sense. It
I
makes
think you
perfect
just
sense.
I think you look too deep into it right now, bro. We gonna be good. It's week season one. You worried about that? You worried about I don't care, Babs. I'm worried about more important shit. Your voice. Ask me what I'm worried about is more important. Ask me. Ask me.
Nah, nah.
No,
You right.
ask me. No,
So
ask me. No, ask
what
me.
do you
No,
feel is
ask
more important? What do you see this guy? Yo, Jay, he's doing it again. But yeah, so what do you feel is more important than who care vibes?
the motherfucking draft. The draft is
Oh,
more
see
Oh,
important than I don't care.
that's
that was actually one of my questions next, and I was gonna ask you guys: is the Madden glitch ruining the fun of the league? See, that's
Yes,
my next
yes,
question, and yeah, I
yes,
like how you
yes,
got that.
I
yes.
think I have
Like,
an interesting perspective on that, being that it's my first year back. So I'm gonna defer to Weezy on that,
yeah.
and then when he's
So Keith,
done, I'll take
okay,
the mic.
Keith. I know how Keith. I always been like, bro, Keith, come back. You're not in the move, not in the move. Last year it was very bad. with drafting. So we had to restart over a lot of seasons. OG, you was here for that. We had to do our trial tribulation, or AKA hold our breath. I remember one time Trent and Jay did something for the whole league. They did everything. Them two did everything. We just had to go draft the same night or the next day, and the shit still didn't work. So it's like, motherfuckers like, fuck it. We do all this, don't do that, don't do this, and it still don't work. So it's like, not saying fuck the league, but it's like, damn, the league is like, fuck, not our league, but like Madden leagues are fuck, because it's like, we really got to hold our breath. Y'all seen the dude who joined earlier this week that he came in league just to ask us, did we draft yet? Because he heard certain drafts you can draft, certain drafts you can't draft. Some people just better to skip. So it's like, that's when it comes to that, that's also got to do with a lot of people not saying they're tanking, but imagine you having a bad draft pick and you really need a quarterback. I'm not talking about me, just anybody. If you really need a quarterback or a running back, and the best running back is there to get it, you can't even draft. You got to put it on autopilot. But what if you can't do that? It's just saying, like, what if we get to season 1 and it's time to draft and we can't go? So we did this whole season for no reason.
Well,
So then that's
don't
where I'm
say
like,
that. Don't say that. It's not for no
what you mean?
reason.
That's no reason.
Because
As
it's
I'm
not.
saying,
It's
we did
not.
all this. I'm saying we did all this no reason. The game is broke. Not saying like we did. I'm saying we did
Well,
all this, huh?
because unfortunately, EA Sports developers is ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Um, this thing been an issue since last Madden. For them not to polish this up, man, which they had a whole 2 years, because we not counting last Madden. They had a whole 2 years to fix this game for the Xbox X and
No, you
and
have to
S.
count last man because it's an example of it still happening. I get what you're saying, but
No, because last
another,
Madden was a branch off the old Xbox, and it was trying to like include it into the new Xbox. It wasn't really just made for this special Xbox. Is
but
what
it's
I'm
still
saying.
happening now. OG, it's still happening now.
No, and that's what I just said. They have ass developers, ass
Yeah.
people who work at EA.
So I'm just saying,
It.
imagine you really deserving your trade. Not to cut you off. I'm saying, imagine you really rating the draft, and then we can't even draft. So it's like,
Mm-hmm. No, I get what you're saying, because it sucks that a lot of people play franchise to draft, to build a team, and
and
it's
some people
unfortunate that
don't
we
sign
may have.
certain players. Like me, I'm not gonna sign my tight end. That dude, I'm not saying his last name. Keith, how you say his last name? The tight end for the
Gasecki.
Dolphins. Yeah, somebody that's gonna want him, but it's like,
No,
if
hold
somebody,
on. You got to try to pronounce this out though. You got to
I have,
learn to say his name.
which I got a speech impediment. Shut up. Anyway, I'm gonna learn to say his name. Anyway, so even though I might not want to resign him, I might want to get him in the draft. And I'm saying, I have 2 first round picks, or I might have a second round pick. But I know somebody in the comments gonna be like, "Well, just do an auto sim." It's not the same. Y'all know that, so shut up. But I'm just saying, like, even though I'm not gonna sign him, he gonna be in free agency. But I might want to get him out of the draft. So it's like, there's pros and cons to this, and it's looking very conish right now for the man leads for a random user to join and say he heard 3 different things. Somebody else said it too, but I'm not
Yeah.
getting to that. I'm not just gonna shit on all the drafts. Hopefully it worked. We just gotta wait and see, like we did last year.
Oh, we are not.
What
We
you
are.
mean? We do gotta wait.
No.
You
We are
can't create
not
a
taking
game.
that risk. We're not taking that risk. I'm letting
Oh,
you know
so
now. We're not taking that risk.
we gonna sim it?
Yeah,
So
that's the
here's
best
my
option,
question,
because
man.
See what I mean?
With this sim, no, I don't have no issue. I only got 4th round picks. I ain't got no early picks, so this doesn't affect me personally. But being a former commissioner in this league and my own, I understand exactly where y'all are coming from. My only question would be like, have y'all tested it yourselves in a test league to see, what does
um,
happen with
it,
multiple users in the league? And um, we saw Slop come in the chat and mention like, yeah, don't do the draft thing because blah 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 blah. And I kind of tried to ask him for more input on that, but he didn't give me any. So I don't think he saw it though. It's
ye-
not his fault necessarily. So I just wonder, have y'all went through testing it to see yourselves what the best option would be, or is it just sim is the answer? No, no testing, no nothing, not even chancing it like you
to,
said.
to be honest, it's hit or miss. We survived. So I'm speaking on last Madden. We had survived the first portion of it. Like, we got by it. We drafted. We did good. Boom, boom, boom. Went to the next season. We drafted again, and that's when everything went downhill. We couldn't get past a certain time. So it's the scary part is that it's literally hit or miss, and knowing that it's still out there,
It's
right?
hard.
It it's that's what's spooky about it. And do we want to send the draft? No, because that's not a
Of
part of our
course not.
plans.
Of course not.
That's not what we want to do. That's not what type of league we want to be. But in the nature to save it, because we are not trying to reboot. That is the main thing. We are not trying to reboot.
Bro,
So
don't say that word no more. Please don't.
okay,
No,
I'm
you can
sorry.
say the
I'm sorry.
word, but it's a clear explanation of things to come. So when people hear the podcast this Sunday, they
It's
understand what to expect, and
true,
I think it's
true.
a fair conversation to have because some leagues, people in our league are in multiple leagues. They are already further ahead of us. They started when the game
Big
dropped.
virgins.
I'm not gonna say that, but I just think it's fair to ask questions and for understanding because you want to be able to protect your team, like OG is saying. It's you don't want to
Hmm.
make all these trades, do all this development just to lose everything. So I completely understand, and I'm gonna respect that fact. And there's people have gotten rookies to 80 overalls already. People have gotten their young players already somewhere near set for next season to continue their development. So yeah, to lose that progress, between 4 to 5 weeks of everything, hell yeah, I'd be
Hmm.
pissed off too. So
And,
I completely
and the
get it.
thing is demoralizing. So all the energy you put into this one team, all the hours you put into playing the games. If when a reboot when reboots happen, there's some users that not with it and they don't play no more. They just be like, oh fuck this, I'm not playing no more. This is unbelievable. Shit keep happening. So we're just trying to avoid all that in a sense, and our stance on it, and most of us agreed, is that we have to sim the draft, and it's unfortunate, very unfortunate, but we have to know that it's to be honest, it's about the league first, not about like
So hear me
so.
out. So hear me out from a commissioner's point of view. Well, it's not really. It's really for me because I'm TC. So now since that's for me, I feel like the trade value should go down for round picks.
No,
We're
because
never gonna draft.
CPU still drafts well,
Yeah,
not the type
apparently
of
the
player that
draft
you
board
want.
is. I mean, apparently the draft board is completely fixed this year. Again, I have not tested it to know
That's what
any
they say.
better
But
or
go ahead.
anything.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's what
haven't
they say.
tested it,
But
so I can't speak for something I haven't tested. I'm just going off, I'm somebody that just came back to the game after 2 years. I last played Madden 20. I played 21 very like seldom when it went free. I played 22 when it went free a lot to prepare myself for 23. So I saw the 22 issues that you guys are talking about. Now I'm with OG. I don't want to lose no progress. I don't want to take no risks, none of that, because I like the team I've developed and I like where I think I'm going. I just wonder, it's like you guys said about the developers being trash. I'm not gonna say they're trash necessarily. I will say their parent company of Electronic Arts, EA, is not giving them all the tools possible to fix all these problems because there's like a lot of legacy issues. One thing that we just talked about earlier today in the chat, the user LB jump is back. There was a shadow update apparently
We
that
saw that a lot.
allowed
We
the
saw that a lot.
yeah, we've seen it a lot in the last couple of weeks. Like game of the week when we called Itchy, well me when I called Itchy versus Rhino, Rhino had a man open wide over the middle, and Itchy jumped that joint with Von Bell and just sealed the game. Like it was like, damn, I didn't think Von Bell was going to do that, and he only got like 88 jumping. Same thing, Rhino played slop earlier, and he had that dude like Theo Jackson. Dude has 88 jumping. He's a 68 overall. The only reason he jumped like that because
Boy,
it was a user pick. You know what I'm saying?
how do
So
you combat that though? With a high pass?
yeah, you can. That's one way. But even so, like you're not trying to high pass over the middle and give dudes
for
a
the middle,
chance
will
to
get
knock you
popped
out the air.
interception. Yep.
So
True,
that's
true,
the
true,
other
true,
part of
true.
it. Like if you throw it over the middle, you throw a high pass. You know how they do that weird jump and then take forever to come down, like they're floating.
And then the safety interception.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to take that risk? So you think a quarterback would know, oh, throw it over his head, but they reverted back to what used to be in the past, allowing those LBs and those safeties to jump to heights we didn't know possible. So if 88 jumping can do that, what can 99 jumping do? It just makes you wonder. So
Well,
I
I
don't
didn't
know how
care.
you combat that. I don't know how you combat that, honestly. I think you
What
just
what
be
real
better, I
fast
guess.
before I switch before we get to that. One thing I do like about us to maybe sim in the draft is that people can't really go on who cares. They can't say they tanking anymore. It won't be a reason to. Um so that'll be a positive note if we do sim the draft. Wanted to say that.
Okay.
That's actually a good point though when you make it like that because
Yeah,
it
I
adds
can't really
another
rebut
it
that.
adds another
He
layer to the
it was
league. Truthfully, it means you got to set
it
your
made
draft
sense.
board.
I don't have nothing to debate. That made sense. It was like a good point. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
if
good.
because
You're
then
right.
if you don't set your draft board, you can't complain about why your team drafted somebody stinky. At that
I
point,
can't be
you
like,
don't
no,
cap.
OG, no, OG, that don't make sense. That made sense. I
Why
was
my
like,
team
yeah.
draft a tight end? I got Darren Waller. Well, did you set the draft board?
Yeah.
Mm.
Tight end
Well,
best
well,
available.
I do respect Weezy for um owning up to his losing and
What you
actually
mean?
saying I'm no, because because you are actually saying yo I'm losing because I'm losing, like not because oh nah I got an excuse I'm tanking no nah you like nah I'm losing I'm dead ass losing and like
I,
for the, like
I play
you know
all my
me and you
games.
be
I play every game except for this one against Smitty because every time I said him I could play, I didn't show up. So I did the right thing, which is
what you
force
was
with him.
doing you was being email.
Every time he said it, I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna be here. Then I hit him back. I
Yo, I
text him,
just
bro.
caught that. You can't say that. Chill. You can't say that. I just
And
caught that. Oh my God. Wait a minute. You can't say that.
so yeah, I play every game. Like, listen, when I first played Keith, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like I told Keith, Keith hasn't played in how long? I mean, I'm something like, bro, first game, I'm gonna beat him. Lost. Next game, lost. Next game, lost. Lost. I'm like, yeah, damn. So, I've been playing. And like I said,
No, you know what
I'm
happened with you? You anticipated the game going one way, and
yeah, the
it's
comp
actually
way.
a different.
Because the comp,
Yeah,
listen, I was 8-0, and then I played one more game. Then it was a tie game, but we just like friendly quick. So I thought I
me and
was,
you.
I thought I was the man. I thought I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm ready. But I got in sim and I lost. But that's not an excuse. I'm just saying, I just think right now, I'm be better. I'm still having fun. I'm learning that, like I think it was you and Trent. Somebody said I should have been started Carson. So I'm liking Carson better than old Jimmy G, and I've been cut. What's the dude you gave me?
Oh, Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Yeah, I cut him.
Stinky.
Still got two, and I cut Teddy Bridgewater. So, like I said, I play once every 48 hours. I'm not in no other leagues. I don't load up in practice. There's no excuse. I'm just saying. So I'm still playing. I'm still out here. I'm still trolling motherfuckers. Even when I beat you and we both got one win, I'm still gonna troll you.
Hey,
I gotta
And
play.
last
OD.
week, and for people who didn't listen last week, if you weren't here last week, you should go listen to the last episode. He was playing Omega for his first win, and he literally won. And I
Was
put the clip in
happy
there
for
that
sure, right
showed
here.
like when he called Omega stinky for that pass. That's on the
I ain't gonna
actual
lie.
pod. So y'all
Yeah,
should
I
go
I
was.
watch
wish you would have
episode 4.
screenshotted it because Omega was on the ledge. He was about to quit Madden. He was about to
Oh
quit
yeah.
life. Yeah, he was on the ledge.
Yeah,
He was on
Yeah.
the ledge.
And we want to give a shout out to Omega. We not gonna just make it seem like oh he you know
Congratulations. Yeah, yeah.
big congrats to the homie Omega man. He got married today. So definitely a lot of
but
blessings. Definitely get drunk.
so I
Take
do
care of
have not
yourself
a
and your
question, but
wife.
it's kind of
And
like
don't let AO go out here licking on random
Come,
white women. God damn it, we don't got
uh,
time to be trying to bail this
or
man out of
splitting
jail.
cracks.
Yeah,
He be
man.
splitting
Please
cracks, making them
put the
bleed
Hennessy
and shit.
down. Put the Hennessy down. Let him sleep on the bed tonight, not the floor. Please.
so. Look, in the NFC West, you got Pisky with the Cards, Robinson with the Seahawks, Matt Caddy with the Rams, and 49 Smitty. So you said they're not writing weekly stories.
They
So my
haven't wrote a
question
story
is,
since week 3. It's week
we are
14.
in week 14. So my question is like we said, we try to give everybody opportunity because we do. Josh already know by now. We don't do random for picking next year, man. We do based off active in the
Room
chat, blah
selector.
blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I know it's only season one. We probably look too hard into it, but like, how come they're not writing stories? I know y'all don't fucking know, because that's like we don't fucking
No,
know, but it's
no,
like
but to be fair, I don't write stories. But the content that I bring to the league is I try to do a graphic here. I do this podcast with you guys, which I enjoy. I'm not technically a writer. Like my writing stinks. Like I can't make it. I can't make it. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Writing is not my thing. I like to talk my shit, troll, make a meme out of a picture. That's more my lane. And I get it. Some people who's not their lane. Like my caddy doesn't even talk in the chat. He gives out $1,000 every Christmas, but he talking in the chat. Nah. Um, Fisky, I ain't got no excuse for him. Smitty be writing stories.
he just said he
Smitty
wrote
wrote
what's
the,
his
Smitty wrote the
it's
last story, but
week three.
I'm not calling them out to say they don't write stories. I'm just saying, as an example for people to understand what we're talking about. Like, you have these resources at your hand to earn extra spots next year. So I think it's what +1 for every story you do every week for team selection next year. So you got a year worth of team writing to do just about your game. Like, and the way I do mine is like right after the game, whether I win or lose, happy or mad, I'm gonna take some stuff I want to talk about. I'm gonna put it in that story, and I'm gonna move on. Like when I just lost to Greg, I should have won the game, but I threw 4 touchdowns. It just so happened that 3 of them was to the damn Bills. So that's why I said, you know what, Mac is clearly a Bill. I turned my loss into a story because I get something out of it other than just losing. So that's just
and
how
they
I
get
see
and
it.
they
I'm
get
one person. I'm one person though.
and they get team selection for watching you do the game of the week every week. So
Yeah,
if they
you get
tune into you, they
+10,
could also get yep.
So listen, so don't,
and
and I'm
it
happy
might
you said
not be a
that.
consistent thing either. So just
You know what? It's crazy you said that. I was about to say, don't forget you get points for watching game of the week. And it's also one more thing a lot of people forget. That's another reason why. Another reason why I'm not tanking on purpose or I'm losing on purpose, because it's one thing that neither one of us three have said yet. If you forget, you get points for. And what's that, y'all?
Say
Think
what? What
about
you
it.
said?
You get another thing to get points for
Oh, if
next
they
year.
win the highlight.
No,
Oh, what is it then?
playoff games.
Mm,
yeah, that's
mm,
why I'm trying to get back in. But that loss kind of derailed me and try hard won them
mm.
damn Sim versus J-Pack. So
So, example,
I'm
like
back
me,
at number
even
eight
though
now.
look, I was top 2 pick last year, even though I went 0-8 or 0-9 in the playoffs, I still went to the playoffs, so that's still 8
You
extra
didn't
points.
even go that many times. Stop
That's
it, yo. You just
oh,
boosted
stop.
your shit.
Oh,
OD crazy.
listen, you're not
Yo,
listening.
screw you. Saw he just tried to. He said, "Yeah, I'm over 9." Yo, dog, you ain't
I
go
did.
9 times. Stop it.
I said I went 8 times. So anyway, like I was,
Yo,
even though
that
even though listen, I didn't say I lied and say I won, even though I lost every game in the playoffs. Even though I played the game, that's still a point. So that's 8 extra points that I got for being from second place to fifth place. So it's like people forget that too. You got to
So
go to the playoffs to get the extra
basically,
point. So each game you
what you
win.
saying is
So
some
wait,
people need to play for next Madden instead of worrying about this one. That's
I,
actually a fair point if you're putting it that way. I could be
I
completely wrong.
always pay for next man. I always pay for. That's why I always did weekly stories. I try at
hey,
least go to the playoffs. Cause think about it. So hypothetically, I'm just gonna use him. I hate bringing him up again for the millionth time. We need to use somebody else's name, but I got to use him because he's played the longest out of undisputed. So if Trent was in the playoffs every year last year, and we Super Bowl 2 or 3 times. So it's like the reason why he came in first place because he went farther than me each time in the playoffs. He played more games, so there's more points he got compared to. I'm saying like I'm just name somebody. Uh, tell me somebody. LG.
Jay.
Robinson or Jay.
So Robinson, who went on and off sometimes, and you missed a couple seasons out of the playoffs, you get less points. Now me, my points about to stop. Once I get to week 17, my points are over with. So you have the undisputed in the playoffs, the Trents. You got Smitty going to playoff this time. You got NFC East. I don't know who really going. I think Gonza. I mean, Slop in first place. Correct me if I'm wrong, Keith. I don't know who in first place for NFC East.
Listen, I should be up there, but
Oh, here
yeah.
you go. He coulda woulda.
The coulda,
Coulda
woulda,
woulda.
shouldas, yeah.
You
I'm,
got
I'm five
undisputed.
games. I'm 5 games in a row.
You got the new dude, the Broncos, going to the playoffs. JaVale might not make it. You got the NFC
Hey,
North River going to the playoffs. You know,
Yeah,
I ain't
if
finished.
you
So it's like,
if you want to
let
talk
me
about the
finish.
playoff picture, and we'll put this on the screen for everybody to
playoffs.
see. Playoffs, playoffs. Speaking of the
Yeah.
Colts, they actually in the playoffs right now. But we'll put the picture on the screen during this after post production or whatever. And looking at the playoff picture, actually,
This
on the
motherfucker
AFC
cut.
side of things, Bang is currently leading the pack at number one due to Rhino losing and him beating Rhino earlier this
Hey,
season.
speaking of Bang, right? Listen, I don't mean to cut you off, but that
Hmm.
dude is on a tear right now. The alphabet boy Bang.
So
Like,
wait,
um,
but listen, can we, Keith, OG, before I even talk, let's say something. This is a shout out to the whole league. This guy was new to the league. He picked bottom what, Keith?
Bottom 10.
He picked bottom 10. He's in first place for the
he's a
AFC.
virgin.
So that no, what I'm proving is it doesn't matter what pick you get. So next year, if we go to Madden 24 and somebody say, I was picked 29. This dude was bottom 10 and he got the Broncos. But I think, and you know what? He only did one trade, y'all. And the trade was he traded his fastest wide receiver away for 2 picks. I'm
To
gonna
to
repeat
his
that again.
to his boy who was picked 29, who got the Bears and got the Bears at 10-3.
So let me repeat it. He only has one trade, and he didn't even trade a player. He traded away his fastest player. We all love speed. He traded away his fastest player away for 2 picks and still is number one in the AFC. So next year, don't bring up that, or I was picked 22 and my team stinks.
Yeah, I
Nobody, I'm
mean,
gonna be honest.
to
Hold on, I'm gonna be
defer
honest.
from that
Hold on,
though,
wait,
you
wait.
got a great point though, because when you look at this playoff picture, a lot of the teams that was picked early are not here. So when we look
Yeah,
at team
for sure.
reveal, like I'm about to go find the picture and I agree with you. Truth be told, when you look at all the things that are going on here, trying to find a picture to be correct here. So Bang picked, what is this? Is this 21?
26th or 25th? I know he didn't.
Bang picked 28.
See, I knew his bottom 7.
Bang picked
So
28. So he was bottom 6.
So he got the Broncos in
Bottom
the
6, bottom
last 5
4.
picks. And don't forget to add in the no trades. Remember that.
Yeah,
So
I
this
mean,
is
he
stock
kept the team as
Broncos.
is. These are stock Broncos with Russell Wilson. You know, let's ride. They're not doing good in real life, but he got
Yeah.
them as the number 1 seed in the AFC. And when you look at another team that went very low, actually picked 30, El Mel with the Bears. The Bears have 10 wins, and they're the 5th seed in the NFC. So looking at the list and how it was, out of the bottom half, Undisputed, Smitty, Rhino, and Gons, along with Bang and El Mel, are all in the playoffs. And they are bottom 16 team picks. When you look at the top 10, I wasn't going to go to top 10 only. Out of, Trent, Weezy, Mo Juice, Tryhard, AO, and others. Out of the top 10, Trent,
It's probably 2 people.
Tryhard,
You got you.
Yeah.
Itchy,
No,
and Fitz are the only ones in the playoffs out of the top 10 entirely.
Bisky.
If Fisky not gonna go.
Fitz is number 7 right now. He's 7-5.
Yeah.
He's number 7 in the NFC. Smitty is
9
middle
and
of
2.
the pack, but he's number 2 in the NFC. Undisputed, again in that bottom half, picked right before Smitty. So the Niners fell under the Buccaneers, which is really insane because they have a great defense. But Smitty has them number 2. Gons, he picked middle of the pack. Right
before. The Lions.
Undisputed, Gons, and Smitty all picked in order, ironically, and they're all in the playoffs. Gons is number 6 now after losing to Trent and losing his undefeated streak finally. Slop picked number 13. He's 4th seed in the NFC. And then when you flip the sides, Greg picked 14. He has the Bills. He's the 4th seed. AFC East is the weakest division in the AFC, unfortunately. Shout out to Solo, unfortunately. Shout out to Weezy. Y'all ain't helping us, really.
Stinky.
You guys talking about this team selection? You know what you guys got me thinking about though, for real, that me and the commissioners got to speak about?
What?
NCAA coming out next year.
Okay, what is that? Okay.
No, I'm saying that how to incorporate it with what we're gonna be doing.
It depends on if there's going to be any interaction between the two games like it was in the past. And for people who didn't play NCAA, a very long time ago, you were able to usually transfer your player if you did like a dynasty or whatever. You used to be able to transfer your player into Madden in the superstar mode, which is now face of the franchise, and continue that player's legacy and career, which was a very dope concept. I hope they bring it back. That's something I'm begging for, if I'm being honest.
And imagine bringing your player in and somebody draft him. I'll be tight.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fire. I mean, we do that though. We allow people to change one rookie's name. I remember I had the Broncos before I quit for good. When I came back for that little bit after I quit as the Browns, I changed Pat Surtain to me. That was a lockdown X Factor. Shit was fire.
Yo, Scream. Imagine you working hard though, building this player, and somebody take him from you, and you gotta watch him on another team.
At the end of the day, but I think that's fire. And I also want to give like a small shout out to those player lock leagues. I know a couple of my friends do that, and if you guys don't know what that means, you pick a specific player and you just start a franchise, a CFM, as just that player. You don't play as the team. You pick the plays, of course, but you're locked on that player. So like, if Bank was only locked on Jerry Jeudy, you was only locked on Derrick Henry, Weezy only locked on Tyreek Hill. Like, there are leagues like that. I can't believe they do it. So shout out to people who do that. That's tough. I can't do that. I like controlling my whole team. That's too much. It's too much for me, bro.
But hold on. Wait.
Oh.
My question is, who says that college even let us have like the college franchise we can all play in one? You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
I meant like incorporate, like that you could always like how Scream just said, you can put your person into the game, or we'll have somebody like a Trent or Ayo who knows college really well, put the names on the players, build them up a certain way, and then send the draft class in, certain things like that.
Yeah, that's if Madden even like that. I get what you're saying, but Madden still doing that. I get your thought. No, I get,
bro.
I
get
the old way, but imagine that happening now. Like, I get what both of y'all saying. I know how we used to do it, but I'm saying imagine that happening now. We can't even do a regular franchise
Yo,
draft.
why you gotta be negative Nancy for, man? Let's be positive.
It's not about you. It's
positive
about
vibes.
I'm not talking about AGS. I'm talking about Madden. I get the thought, but imagine that happening with these same developers. We can't even get a
Negative
regular
Karen.
auto
That's
draft
a
now.
that's actually a good point because when you think about it, you are the one who said these developers ain't shit pretty much. So it
You right.
does have
Now
a
you have
lingering
this
effect when you
idea.
look at it from that standpoint though. But I mean, it just all depends on the information when it come out and what
Yeah.
happens. We haven't had a college game in what almost 10 years now. I think
Yeah.
NCAA
Since what?
14 was the last one, and then you could update it every year. And we're going into 2023 in about 3 months.
How many teams are in college like altogether?
Over 100, bro. Like there, you
Oh,
gotta think
that
like
a league like
NCAA
that would be
games,
fucking crazy.
bro. You gotta think about it like this: there's over 100 colleges in the entire nation of just the United States of America, and only 200 something people get drafted. Like 250 to 260 people a year get drafted. Everybody else is just undrafted free agents, bro. So, and I'm only shouting this guy out because he was one of the better undrafted dudes ever. Victor Cruz, Arian Foster, like these dudes went undrafted. Rod Smith from the Broncos, like bro, these dudes went undrafted and made a name for themselves in the league. 255 other dudes got picked before you. Like that's crazy.
And the other thing, why we talking about it, OG, I get your thought, but if it's only 32 users, are we gonna add more users because we all can't be in the same conference because there ain't but so many teams.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it's 100 and some teams, we all probably gonna have to join up with other leagues and
Oh, yeah.
have a big ass league.
That's if they
Bitch,
let us though, because
we
I
did
think
that
it
motherfucker.
used to be limited though. Me and
We'll
me and
never advance.
me
We'll
and
never
G,
advance.
aka Pops, a former user any given Sunday. We used to do dynasty mode all the time in NCAA back when Andrew
I think
Luck
it
was
was
at
16.
Stanford.
Was it 16 or 30, 24? Not mistaken.
Yeah, I can't remember what the number
It wasn't
was.
a lot.
Yeah, but we used to do it all the time, and we used to export the draft class to Madden back then, back in like Madden 13, Madden 25 era. But
I
it just
I
depends
do
on how
hope
the
they let
framework
you.
works.
I do hope they let you bring your player in that you worked for though. For real, like that'd be dope. Like for me to build up a player, even if I have to see him play on somebody else's team, it would just be dope to see my guy playing. I think that's mad dope.
Yeah,
Great,
I think that'd
great.
be fair to be honest with you, because that's in a state of fairness, right? If let's just pick three teams right quick in college. Let's pick Miami Hurricanes because me and Weezy like the Hurricanes. Let's pick LSU and let's pick Alabama. Let's just pick those three teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were building the next Justin Jefferson, or let's just use Will Anderson. Will Anderson's a linebacker for Alabama. He's probably going top 5 in the draft this year, like unquestioned. So if AO likes Alabama from there, like my dad, right? So he's an Alabama fan. Let's say AO got pick number 2, but somebody like Weezy, who again having a bad season, he has pick number 1 and he need a linebacker. AO had Alabama in NCAA, but he can't get him in the game because he made him too good. At that point, that's just fire because it's like, yo, all right, I seen how good you was with this dude. I'm taking him, and you can't have him. That's it.
Wheezy petty ass probably do that regardless. Like, oh yeah, yo, you made him. I'm taking him.
Need him. Need him. And I'm in the chat like, you should have typed more. You should have been the game of the week more. It's your fault. Look, it's your fault.
You're not gonna tell me you should have won more.
Oh.
Speak of the AO, right? I just need to talk to you guys about something too. On the nature of stat padding and stat padding
Oh
and
shit!
stat
Here we
padding.
go.
First off, I want to know cause I know you guys got separate ideas. What do you consider stat padding? And before you guys do that, let me tell you what I think is stat padding. So, if you have a dev or not, or me, my personal opinion, I'm not going to speak for everybody else in the commission, but I'm pretty sure they'll agree, is keeping the receptions close if you're a wide receiver, right? Because that's something that we can take control of as stat padding. Keeping your yardage down as a quarterback. Another thing we can when you even out your game, which is why we came up with the 70-30 rule, you can run 30 times and probably rush for about 250, right? 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. But then when you have a wide receiver who has 14 catches and the next wide receiver has 2 catches, it's blatant going to one person. Like at that point, it's like this is not only working because there's 5 other wide receivers that can be on the field because a lot of people just play shotgun. Um, and to me, it's just keeping the receptions close as far as wide receiver stat padding. That is my take on that. And regardless if it's dev or not, like people's been in here, been in this league for so long, and I'm gonna call him out. Like for Ayo to do that pad and to say he don't care, it was just like, come on, dude, you only don't care because you're losing now, and that kind of was a slap in the face because it's like Slop just got suspended. You go and do it, and you're gonna say I don't care, and he's probably gonna say he don't care again in the chat because that's just the type of dude he is. He tries to stand strong on what he says, even when he know he's wrong. He just never wants to be proven wrong, and that was wrong because he's been in this league for so long. He's done called out people for doing it, and for him to do it is kind of crazy. And just to clear it up, it's not about you really. It's not. It's really not about yardage because yardage just happen. A deep ball happens.
User
You
error
know what
is
I'm
a
saying?
thing.
Two,
You know,
two
if you miss a tackle and dude goes from a 25-yard gain to an 80-yard gain, that's user error if you missed a tackle. So you got a good point there.
exactly. So to clear it up, it's not really about yardage, and people keep thinking it's about yardage, 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 yardage. No, it's really about the separation of receptions. 15-2, come on. Now if you had 10-6, okay, we can be like, oh look, that was close. He's spreading the ball. Um, and that's what it's really about. It's not singling nobody out to say, oh, because people be saying we picking and choosing, but it comes to the point where you have to be called out. If you only 15 receptions, your next person has one, your next person has one, your next person has one. And as far as the running back, you can't really. How can you spam one running back? You got to use him all the time. He's going to get 30 carries, and like we said, use error. If if somebody missed a tackle, that running back is going to go home. It's gonna how Snipe said TTG to the crib or TTC. So it's like running backs is more you give more leniency than wide receivers, which is so obvious. It's like spread the ball. You have 5 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers. You have a tight end. You have a running back you can even throw to. So that's my stance on quote unquote stat padding. That is not necessarily about the yardage because everybody goes in screaming yardage. Oh no, but this blah blah blah. No, it's about the receptions and the space between the receptions. Because even if you
So
have a dev game, we all seen it. We all seen it here, right?
yeah,
That everybody who has a dev game with a wide receiver, first 2 quarters, they only go into those wide receivers. That is facts. I don't want to hear nothing different because we all know that's what people do in this league. You have a dev game with a wide receiver, he's gonna continuously continuously throw to that wide receiver. And that's when you catch on and be like, oh, he got a dev game. Let me try to cover that up. Whatever, whatever. And after you get that dev, quote unquote, you could spread the ball. Let's say it took you 8 receptions to get 200 yards with that wide receiver. Give your next man at least 4 or 5, so we can have a actual like, okay, he spread the ball. No matter how you did it. And you know what? I can't even say that because people in here be taking shit too literal and be like, oh, he said I can throw for 10 in the first half and then only 5 in the other. But excuse me, it's more just about common sense and keeping that reception area closer than what it be.
I respect that heavily. I think you got a great point there. And the question I was going to ask you, you know, if it's about the receptions, right? Let's say you spamming one receiver for 15 catches, but only 50 yards. You know, even like you said, it's not about the yards, it's about the receptions. So if one person got 15 and the next player got 5, is that suspension worthy? And I'm asking for the chat. I'm not asking for me because I understand it clearly. But some people get things confused and think, oh, you know, spamming only matters when the yardage matches the receptions. If you only got 15 catches but 50 yards, but your next guy only got 5, you spam the player, you know, is that a suspension?
Um, I, hype. I don't because I don't believe that somebody would get 15 and 50. That because this is a video game. I believe that if they get 15, they're gonna be in like 150, high 200s.
It's just hypothetical for it's a hypothetical for a reason, you know.
But you,
So
but you, but you, but you just want to know like what is close to keep it non-suspensional, correct?
yeah, is it like because you when you kept giving your example, you were saying, you know, within 10 catches, so that's why I said that.
No. I like
And
within like if it's like if you have 12 and the next man has 6, at least close to half. You get what I'm saying? At least close to half,
that's why I'm
so
asking
that
that way because I think close to half is the right way to go about it for sure.
Like
I think people
like
got to
it'll just be
understand
like,
and get out their
okay,
feelings about all of it because it's not about feelings at that point. It's about keeping the league sane and safe. Like, don't keep making it about your personal feelings about stuff. I think the personal aspect is why people get so upset, and it's like, yo, it's not personal. It's
yeah, I
rules
just
for
brought
a
up
reason.
Ayo though because that situation was unique, and the way he handled it, I was disappointed in him. Um, and i- in a sense, I don't get why he did it. He's been rolling with us for a minute, and he's going. I promise you, he's going to say I say what I say, I do what I do. But when people do it, he's the first one to call him out.
He said,
So
"I do, what I do."
yeah, no,
Not
seriously,
wrong
that's
though.
how he
It's true.
moves. That's how he speaks. He speaks when he stands on something. He stands on something. I respect him for that. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And even me, when I'm wrong, I take accountability. Like y'all was wrong. But when I stand on something, I stand on something. So I get where he coming from with his stance. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. And that wasn't just to call him out. It was more my thing is Slop just got suspended for it. And literally the next week you're gonna go do it. Like that to me, that was a spit on the commissioner's face to tell you, like, fuck y'all. I don't care how y'all feel. Fuck the rules. I'm still gonna do this. And that's why I was more disappointed because it's like, come on, dude. Like we gotta set examples too. Leaders lead. Followers follow. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and even us five, that's commissioners, and even we hold certain users to certain standards because they've been here so long that people look up to these people. For example, they probably won't admit it, but a lot of people follow Weezy's lead when he say something. They
No,
follow
that's
that
all
route.
fast. Once he start trolling and cursing people out and saying crazy stuff about racism, oh, they def following. You are not
So
lying
so
about that.
so imagine if he goes out and Weezy goes and gets 15 catches, and then right after Slop or whoever gets suspended, he goes in the chance says fuck the rules. People are gonna start thinking like, yo, Weezy could do it, and we fuck with Weezy, like we like Weezy, and if he could do that and say that, we gonna do it too.
Mhm.
And that was my thing though. Like Ao has people that follow him and respect him in that nature to say, okay, if you can say that and do that, we can do it too. And that's not the message I'm trying to have our uh people put
Users.
out because it's not a good message. You know what I'm saying? That's horrible messages to send out. That's basically spitting on our face with all the hard work we put behind the scenes. Like rules are in place for a reason, like Weezy always says. Yes, there are gray areas. But we also don't want people moving like robots either. So but certain things just come on. Like 15-2, ridiculous. If it had been 15-8, cool. Granted, if he could have 8 receptions for 60 yards and your man could have 15-200, that's cool. Keep it close. Keep it close. Like and not to like Weezy said, not to keep mentioning his name. People probably tired of hearing me talk because I've been talking for so long. Trent does it amazingly. So for people that say that they can't do it, just watch that man stream and watch what he does respectfully because he spreads that ball out so crazy to each of his wide receivers. Like I commend him, and he's a commish. Like he got suspended prior matters before for that shit, and he learned to move well, and I respect him for that. And like he's one of the faces that they can watch and learn for how to do it if they want to learn. Like that I commend. But 15-2 and going in chat and saying fuck all this, blah blah blah. I felt like that was very disrespectful. My bad. I went on ranting, but y'all could talk about what y'all need to put in on that one.
I don't think it was, a rant. I think it was a great point because it was a topic of conversation. And even I was trying to explain, that because what the convo was between me and AO the other day, AO was sitting there saying, okay, so Scream said run the ball is cool. Okay, cool. Like it can be about running the ball all we want, but when you look at the stats, and me and you talked about this in the chat the other day, okay, so if we go to the stat conversation and the stats are what we're looking at to not get people suspended or get them suspended, let's look at Cooper Kupp. We mentioned my caddy. My caddy does not talk like whatsoever. He just don't talk. That's just who he is as a person. But when you look at the stats, like Cooper Kupp had a game where he had like 4 receptions for 177 yards. Are we supposed to suspend him because he's throwing to an open man? That was my question. If the dude is open, do you just say, screw him? But when I went and watched the Slop game back, I was defending Slop at first, but that boy spammed Devontae Smith. I don't care what none of y'all say. The tape is there, so argue with yourself. It's a thin line between spamming a player for yardage versus spamming them to get them the ball. And what OG is saying is getting them the ball is the point of contention here. That's where the issue is. I think people are not understanding that part of it.
What was that? You done? Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, he got real quiet. Yes, everything you said, it makes sense. I think everybody can just, like, in my opinion, everybody plays different. So you say Trent spread the ball. Okay, that might be how Trent plays, but the next user probably can't pass as good as Trent. So if a wide receiver, I'm just gonna name anybody. If Jerry Judy need 200 yards, if user, I'm just gonna talk about me. If I need Jerry Judy to get 200 yards, it might take me 10 receptions to get it, compared to it might take Trent 6 or 4. So I think it just depends. I just name him just because I'm.
That is a cool point, but for someone that
You can't
can't
let me
throw like
finish.
me
Let me
either,
talk.
hold up. For somebody that can't throw like me either, I still spread my ball a lot evenly, very, very evenly.
Bro, listen. I'm just saying everybody plays the game different. The next person might feel comfortable throwing it deep, no homo, real quick. The next person might do all drags. And then what Q said, he's the net point, he just throwing to him. So in my brain, this motherfucker got a dev. So double team him.
Yeah,
That's the way I see it.
that is the way I look at it. Like, and I had a dev the past few weeks. Logan Wilson had a superstar dev, which I got, and then he had an X Factor this last game. But the defensive ones at times, depending on the position, are a lot easier. I think defensive end and safety or corner have easier ones because they're team based. But linebacker, it's specifically on that player. Whereas on offense, I think it's unfortunate because the rules, and that's what I was trying to figure out, and that's why I was trying to come up with a suggestion. It's harder to do things on offense in jest for a dev game because when we did game of the week, when we did Gons versus Trent blew Gons out, and then Gons kept throwing, was not trying to end the game because he had a dev. He basically spammed Jamison Williams until he got his dev. So it's like the receiver and running back devs are so OP. It's hard to consistently tell yourself, like, man, it's hard to not spam them because you want that dev. There's not many ways to get a dev in the league right now. There's no more free devs that much. Every time we've done wagers to get a dev, somebody had to fair sim or force one and it didn't count. So, I get the point of offensively, there is an issue with the disparity of 150 yards for Superstar and 200 yards for X Factor. But it just makes me question, what can we, not really me, I ain't commissioner, so let me take that back. What can, the commission do to help that alleviate that? I don't know. Maybe if they drop the restriction, if you prove you got a dev game or something, like let's say Taekwon got an X Factor game and he needs 200 yards, but I get 150 and I didn't spam. In good faith, if I show that I had an X Factor game and I did the thing the right way, would y'all reward me the X Factor? Or is
No.
it just dead?
What you talking about when the game come out, cut out?
Nah, so
No, we talking about
you know
regular game.
how when you
Okay,
got an offensive player, so the way offensive X factors
basically,
work is
no,
200
yeah, the
yards.
certain amount of, but just keep the receptions close. If you can keep
But
the
what
receptions
if
close, cool. And then we don't got to hear that I
No,
lost because I had
OG,
a
no,
dev game.
OG. You missed what he said. He said if the dev game is 200 for X Factor, but he only got 150, but he didn't spam, would y'all still honor him the X Factor or no? Because he didn't get the 200 yards.
because I didn't
Oh,
try to spam to get him open or nothing like that. I mean,
That's what he.
yeah, we can say keep it close and get the ball other places. That's cool, but realistically, the game only 28 minutes. It's 7-minute quarters. Accelerated clock is on. The clock is always moving. There's no slowing the pace of the game. Really, you can't slow that clock down. So
well,
that's what forces some. I'm not speaking for me. I'm just giving an example once again. But some people are going to continue to force to their players no matter what because
hey,
Yeah, and
devs matter. That
everybody different.
hold up. This dev game is the same thing as who cares. Because when somebody loses off a dev game, it's I
it's
lost
their
because a
fault.
dev game.
It's their
No, no,
fault. I
no.
mean,
But
I'm with you. I'm with you though.
I'm just trying to
You're making a
combat
great point.
all
That's a
this
great point.
BS. You know what I'm saying? So basically, try to get your dev cool, but keep the receptions close. Like that's like if you gotta do it 15 times, at least make sure your man got 6, 7, the next man up. Like that's all I I'm gonna say we are asking as a commission because I'm pretty sure they
I
all
think
agree
that's
with this.
fair, and that's why we're having the conversation because it's to understanding bring
Because
clarity to the rules. It's not to say you can't do
no,
something.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
to
yeah,
bring
exactly.
clarity, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to so that everybody's very aware. Like me and OG brothers, this is not an argument or a debate.
Yeah,
None
yeah.
of that.
This is
It's a real
you
conversation because people are wanting
now.
to ask these questions and I'm not gonna say they're afraid to, but people some users feel like they gotta have
What,
more power than other people. I don't get that, but it's not about
mm,
power. It's just about understanding.
what I could say though, right? Let's say you do have a dev game, right? Boom, and I'm pretty sure like the commissioners will back me on this. The number can be a little different. Let's say you got 15 and your next man got probably like 5, 6. Then it'll be like, okay, you understand what I'm saying? Then it'll be like, okay, we
Yeah.
understand you had to dev 5, 6. It's understandable, but 15 and 2, that drop off is ridiculous,
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
actually very insane. It's a big drop off.
And then when it comes to the fact that when you don't have a dev game, that number is even like it just makes it even more worse. So the whole point is just keep the receptions close. We haven't even had this problem. I mean, Weezy, because you wasn't here last year. Last year, didn't you remember Luop, right? Weezy, when he spammed the hell out of
You talking about Lua
rugs
from
and
Leather
and
Helmets, right?
yeah, so he spammed the hell out of rugs, right? Boom, and a lot of people that's doing it now was complaining about it. That Luop was doing it. So we suspended Luop. Luop and eventually left the league because he didn't like that. But a lot of the people that's doing it now was complaining about that. So I I don't understand that logic that you can
That's
go
very
out
weird.
and speak
Yeah,
against it
I don't.
and then
You
go
you
ahead
were
and do
against
it.
something and then now you want to do it. That doesn't make sense to me. I think that's ass
So,
backwards.
so speaking of Henry Ruggs, do y'all feel like he should come back in the league? Be
Lu-
honest.
Luop?
It once all his legal issues are
Henry
done,
Ruggs.
it
Henry Ruggs,
depends.
OG, come here.
Oh,
It
my bad,
depends
my
on when
bad,
all
my
his
bad.
legal issues are done. Like I think once all the legal issues fade and
Um,
they whether he does jail time, whether they find him guilty or whatnot, because I don't think the case is over with. I think it's always a case of what if. Just like when I came on the pod during season 1 and you asked me never say never about coming back to Madden, and here I am. I think once
you,
I think in legal situations when everything presents itself, uh, it just depends because the same thing happened with like Chris Henry before he passed away. He was going to get back into the league, but unfortunately he passed away. So it just
I will
depends.
say this about that though. I am I don't know if too many know this. I am unfortunately guilty of drinking and driving. I actually got into a whole situation. I was locked up. I had a numerous court days ongoing fighting the case for a whole year. Um, his case was different than mine because he was speeding, and he actually killed somebody. But I will say this: if let's say he does do time and he comes home and he's repented and he's a different man, I believe he should get a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. That's not even like everybody. Adoku deserves a second chance. Fuck it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves a second chance. And if you could prove it, Michael Vick is a wonderful, wonderful
That's
example of
definitely
that.
where I was coming.
Michael Vick, even though his situation was so unfortunate and it's whack. Because I don't want to say it's because it's just dogs, but I don't want no beef on it because I love animals, I love pit bulls, But he did 2 years for animal cruelty. Basically, came back and he's the only person to get two different $100 million contracts, and he revived his career so tremendously. Herman Edwards helped him out. Was it Herman Edwards? No, it's the other guy. The coach. What's his name? Keith. Old coach.
Wait, who?
The coach. Old coach.
Damn, Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy and my good man's Andy Reid help him change and he changed. So yes, people do deserve second chances. Even Pac-Man, wasn't Pac-Man in some bullshit? Ray Lewis was
Yeah,
locked up about to do
Pac
murder
Man.
charges.
Yeah, Ray Lewis and Jamal Lewis were locked up on murder charges for the Ravens. Both played at the same time. Right at that Super Bowl. Uh, Vic, like we mentioned. Who else did you just say?
Oh, Ben Roethlisberger too as well. He caught the rape case.
Yeah,
Um,
Ben. Even. Let's
Kareem Hunt,
transition a little
Tyreek
bit,
Hill.
right? Let's transition just a little bit, right? It's always weird when we talk about like athletes and these legal situations. You brought up last episode, and we're just gonna continue that convo about like the Brett Favre, Brady, Vic thing, and now this thing with Ime Udoka and the scandal going on with the Boston Celtics. You know, the only issue I have with people bringing up the Brett Favre situation is this is a political issue. It's not a sport issue. People keep saying, why is this Brett Favre situation getting no notoriety? It's because it's a political scandal. Political
Mm.
scandals only get heavy information and heavy news presence in the state it belongs in. It doesn't get national jurisdiction because it's not a national problem. An athlete who is somebody who is recognized nationally, like a Brett Favre, he's a Hall of Famer, so it should get more national attention. I will agree on that point, but people want it to be as big as the Mike Vick dogfighting thing, bro. Mike Vick was an active player in the league when that happened. Henry Ruggs, when he did what he just did a year ago, was an active player. Brett Favre is like 50, 60 years old doing a welfare
Hey,
scandal for a stadium in Mississippi sports. So he's
mm,
running a scandal on welfare to bring better sports to Mississippi. That's why it's not being talked about. It has nothing to do with the legality of it. It's because he was trying to bring more to his state. At the end of the
that's a Hall of
day,
Famer player though, bro. Hall of
but
Famer. Like
but
I
again,
bet
Hall of Fame.
Weezy could get you on that one. Weezy.
I mean, okay, Warren.
Oh,
Okay, let's look at the Warren Sapp issue. Warren Sapp and Lawrence Taylor doing what they did with like the young girls and talking about raping people. It's
what?
different levels
I ain't
to
never
it,
heard that.
bro. It's different levels to it. Like Lawrence Taylor got arrested
Oh,
for like some. I gotta look it back up and
wait.
tell the exact
Didn't
story.
where Weezy at? Where Weezy at? Cause didn't Clinton Porter's get caught up in the scandal that was heavy media, and he wasn't playing.
Sam Hurd got locked up for all the drug stuff. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the situation. Like Lawrence Taylor is
Wait,
registered. I'm not trying to be funny right now. Listen to this, bro. Lawrence Taylor is a registered sex offender. The arguably the best defensive
I got.
player in
Let me check.
ever
Let
in
me check this.
football.
Let me check this. I
He's
gotta
a
check this.
he's a Hall of Famer, and after he did the thing with the 16-year-old girl, bro, he is a registered sex offender. He's the best defensive player of all time, basically, to most people. But people
Damn,
don't know
he
that because
really
they
is.
don't they disregard that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
6 years
Like,
probation. Ooh. But
yeah,
didn't Clinton Porter's get booked for the insurance fraud?
I think that was him. I can't remember though.
That it definitely was him, and he that was media coverage heavy,
Yeah,
and he did 6 months in prison. 6 months in prison.
Warren Sapp, another Hall of Famer from Florida. He recently been on like the pivot when they first started with Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder and Ryan Clark. The reason Warren Sapp got fired from NFL Network, he was soliciting a prostitute and assaulting her, and then had a domestic battery charge in 2010 during the Super Bowl coverage. So these are Hall of Fame players that go through crises or crises. I don't even know what the plural form is. They go through these things, and it does get coverage. Just because you don't see the coverage doesn't mean it's any less. I think people have
Ooh,
to
ooh,
stop.
I like that one.
That's
I like
all.
that one.
That's all I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that Brett Favre didn't do it. He did something wrong, but it's a political issue. It's different than cheating on your fiance with a staff member on your team, and now with the
Plural,
Udoka
plural.
situation,
Staff members,
members. I'm
plural.
sorry, you're right. It's plural. But the difference with the Udoka situation is that he was told to stop, and he claimed it was consensual. Now that everything has come out, and we spoke about it a little bit earlier, Matt Barnes went on the record and said he rescinded everything he said about defending that man because more details came out, and he received a phone call from the Celtics himself about the exact nature of the situation. And he said it's deep. So this is more than just him sleeping with one person's wife and the dude finding out and saying I'm going public with it. The team got in front of it because the dude said I'm gonna go public if y'all don't, and he's still about to sue them and get his money worth because like
Mm.
that's alimony and pain for him. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to go
Oh,
sleep with dude, why you just didn't leave me? I get it, but it's not here nor there.
hey, Weezy, where you at?
Man disappeared on us.
He's talking as much as he got wins. But
Oh, gee,
on
whoo,
on on ooh, on a lighter
whoo,
situation,
whoo.
right? Um, yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't get a guest because the guests had bad schedules this week.
Bad
Um,
vibes. Bad vibes.
all in a nutshell, what we all covered, it was cool. Um, I do want to see the league, AGS, the whole league as a whole, put out more content. Um, I believe you streaming, I mean, sorry, you commentating is gonna bring um different aspect to that too, and not we can't speak about too much, but the things that you're gonna add to those game of the weeks is gonna be very dope and bring a different aspect to the league as well. But I want the league as a whole to like, if we could all come up, like I believe, I always believe this too, that all of us, all 32 users could be profiting off this league, because we live in a social world. Social media is heavy, and social media, like, it's got to be a certain way to like expand this, in a sense of just like, we already known as a good league, but just making us like a pop, like boom,
I
AGS,
mean,
like.
something we definitely, you know, I don't know how true or false we can say this is, but obviously with the podcast and how the podcast will grow and how the podcast will expand is definitely one way the league will get better. I do agree with you. I think that more people need to take an active stance, is what I'll call it, for their league. Like, Weezy said it. This is the only league he's in. For me, this is the only league I'm in. I do commentary for other leagues with Wes because Snipes is my guy. That's we started this together, and he always thanks me for him being as big as he's gotten and what he's doing, and I'm gonna always give him that same respect. But it's because we took a liking to the things we love. So if you have a passion for graphics, don't be afraid to get with JPack or OG and say, "Yo, this is what I came up with. How do y'all like this?" Don't be
mm.
afraid to put your ideas out there
Shout out to
because there's
Rhino.
nothing.
Shout out to yo.
Big shout out to
Shout out to
Rhino.
IC. Shout out
Yeah,
to
like
IC though,
IC
because
is doing
IC
stories and putting out
every week.
graphics in his stories
Hmm.
every week.
Shout out
He
to
got
IC.
Leighton Vander
Even
Esch Superstar. I seen that. That's fire. It's different.
even though his phone is a fossil, he's still putting
But
out
that's
graphics.
crazy though. He can do that.
Nah,
Oh,
this
He
guy.
can
Weezu's
do that,
back.
but
Where you been
Weezu
at?
is
Hold on.
back.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Weezu
We got
is
smoke for you.
back.
Where you been?
Weezu is back.
what you mean?
We've been calling
We
your
was
name the
just
last 10 minutes. Where you been?
You know what? The whole time I've been talking, I had a little thing. It kept saying that my connection was bad, so it was a little red
Oh,
thing beside it.
you was on nature walk. Okay.
oh, so you was talking your shit and you
I was
wasn't
talking. I
heard.
was going crazy, and nobody could hear me. That's crazy.
Yo,
Oh
that's
man,
crazy.
I
man.
know
Nah,
you
we need you
motherfuckers
This
back.
ignoring.
nature,
Say
nature
that old shit
vibes.
back. We need you back. Say it all. Say it all. Say everything you had to
I was
say.
cussing. I was cussing Keith ass out about that Brett Favre stuff. You motherfucker got me hyped.
But
You
but
got me
but
tight up
I didn't tell a lie though. So how you cussing me out for not lying?
Oh, you got the
because
stage now, Weezu. Go ahead.
oh, hey, chill out with that weasel. I think it's some bullshit because you keep saying it's not a sports thing, right?
It's not.
Right? Okay, so it's not a sports thing. So when the other players get in trouble for fucking prostitutes or DUIs or Marshawn Lynch or whatever, that get talked about on ESPN. Like people,
The
let me
Marshawn
finish.
Lynch thing barely got talked about. Let's be real.
So listen, but not but so listen. All people were saying is of all races. Not it's not a bad thing about it. All people were saying was, and when you go on ESPN, you don't see not one coverage about it, not one article, not picture of Brett Favre or nothing. But when there was other people that retired or that had sex with a minor or that had sex with somebody else or did whatever or a
Hmm.
crackhead or does drugs, it's
Damn,
over
why he
there
be a
heavy.
crackhead?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying like that's all bad stuff. Or as soon as somebody die or something, it's bad. But it's all over ESPN. But it was not one article on ESPN NFL. So what
You
you
want to know
listen?
why?
So you said it wasn't sports related. So when they get in trouble, when they retire and they're doing stuff that's non-sports related, why is that talked about ESPN? Ex former first round pick murdered somebody. That's all they talk about. But then Brett Favre, who's stealing money from the poor, who's already poor, he's a millionaire. I mean, obviously he's not a billionaire, but he's a millionaire. He got NFL money and like OG said, nobody care about Mr. Wrinkle. He has advertisement endorsement money. So he don't just have just regular NFL fifth round draft pick money to play NFL for 4 years and retire. Motherfucker
Hmm.
went to Super Bowl, all the good stuff. So again, he's not the richest, but he has enough money to he could himself got the fucking football shit himself. I mean, the volleyball stadium himself. Like everybody's mad at Tom Brady for doing whatever he did with the fraud shit. But like everybody said, that's how the rich stay rich. But he really took from the poor, which is not cool. If the poor is already poor, how you gonna take money from the poor? You are Brett Favre. It's not like he. Let me finish. It's not like he's like a Byron Leftwich or a fucking Chad Pennington. They probably got some money too, but it's Brett Favre. And it's Brett Favre. It's like, bro,
my bad.
And like, bro, he has mad money. So why are you taking money from the people who's already poor?
So let me tell you why. I'm gonna answer your question, right? So when we look at the situation with this political issue, once again, right? The reason Favre is only involved in this is because the former governor of Mississippi, Phil Bryant, was asked by Brett Favre, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out? That's not Favre's fault. You got to understand, when it comes to paying people, it's just like the whole college thing in the Reggie Bush situation. This is exactly like the Reggie Bush situation. Somebody offered Reggie Bush money, he took it. Reggie Bush knew better, and he lost his Heisman for it, and now people are always saying, oh, give him his Heisman back. Unfortunately, I agree he should get his Heisman back. He earned it no matter what, but rules is rules. Now, here's the thing. Brett Favre did not steal any money. What happened was auditors said that money was misallocated for TANF, or temporary assistance for needy families. It's everywhere in the world. You don't know. So Favre is only involved because it supported things he supported. He did not physically do anything. That's the thing people not understanding. They're talking without information. Oh, let's go back to Michael Vick, right? Or the Brady situation. Let's go back to last week. Michael Vick was literally involved in running the dogfighting ring. That's why he went to prison. Brady got a PPP loan like all the rich people got because he was eligible to apply for it, and he can pay it all back. You know, I hate that I'm calling everybody out for this. You know how dumb you got to be mad at Tom Brady for getting a PPP loan, knowing he can pay the money back and you can't? You know how many people in this world scammed and got that loan, can't pay it back, and they're sitting in jail? So you mad
Allegedly.
at Tom Brady? But so you basically telling me you're mad at a white man for paying the money back? You talking about him getting the loan, but you're not talking about him paying it back. Why did he get $1 million PPP loan when he got $87 million for a broadcasting contract? Because he could pay it back. That's the point of it. It's a loan. You pay a loan back. There's no news there. People are reaching. This Brett Favre thing is a reach, bruh. When you look at the specifics of the situation with Brett Favre and the details, Brett Favre was questioned by the FBI about it, and whatever payments that were made to him or payments that he made, simply because every misallocation went to money directly to him through the governor or to a cause supported by him. That's not on him. That's on the government. That's why I keep telling you it's a political issue. It's different, bro. It's not about Brett Favre. It's not about Brett Favre. It's about the misallocation of funds by the state and government of Mississippi. Brett Favre is just a name in this. He's not the person they targeted in the first place. He's just a name, bro. That's all it is, bro. It's not that it's less attention. He's not the culprit. But nobody cares about that. They only care about the name Brett Favre. Because when you attach a name to something bigger than the problem, you stop caring about the problem.
Yeah, that's for anything in life.
Think about it like this, right? Let's go back to Tom Brady, right? Deflategate. Was it Tom Brady or was it Bill Belichick?
You shit.
Okay, you see my point now, right? Now you see my point. But let's do this again, right? Was Spygate on Tom Brady or Bill Belichick? Either which way they played for the Patriots, right?
Yeah, it was more so on the coaches, I think.
Okay, so Spygate was Bill, right? But Brady took the flack for it. Oh, none of Brady's rings should count because he was cheating and knowing the team defense. Okay, but he's not the coach. That's my entire point. People just be talking without facts because they want to be right.
Nah, when you know you cheating though, I'm not saying he did allegedly, because you know what I'm saying. But when you like the Astros, when you know you cheating, you gotta take that on the chin.
Yeah, bro. The Astros bro, everything that they getting, they deserve. Not because they took a ring from the Yankees or whatever, because they did.
Why we on that? Wait, why we on that? Whatever happened to the Astros? Because I kind of forgot about it. Like,
So
what
the Houston
happened since then?
Astros, in baseball, there's a thing called sign stealing. Remember how I came in the chat last week when Russell played the Seahawks and he was doing the little thing with his hand, and Tyler Lockett said, like, when Russell taps at his hand, he's telling that receiver on the go route. So that's sign stealing, basically. When you change teams or whatever in any sport, they have like signs to do certain stuff. So if I flick my ear twice, it means steal a base. If I flick my ear once, it means stay home, meaning stay on base. That's how baseball works. The Astros were recording teams and stealing their signs so that when you read what a person was doing, like a coach, you knew what the team was doing. And they were found guilty of that. And they won a World Series during that time, unfortunately. So basically, people were saying that their World Series title should be revoked. It should not count. It should be stricken from the record because they were cheating. They won their
So who
first
got
World
fired?
Series because they cheated.
Who got fired?
Alex Cora, who was the manager of the Boston Red Sox after everything and got caught. Sorry, OG, it's not
suspension.
not
Suspension
your fault.
for a
He
year.
was suspended for a year, and then eventually fired and moved to a different team, I believe.
No, he was on Boston already. He's here. We still here.
He's still there, right? I ain't even know that.
Yeah, we still
I
still
haven't
here.
kept up with baseball that much outside the Judge going for 62 fucking home runs. Man, it's crazy. Big Judge, man.
Hey,
So
hey, just because this is like a tipping point in the podcast real fast. I don't mean to cut you off. If you can tag me, Weezy, and Scream, and tell me, hold up.
no.
Oh no, I'm
DM.
sorry. Can you DM? Yeah, you're right. DM, D to the M. Me, Weezy,
If you
or
post in
Scream.
general, it will be disqualified. Go ahead.
it'll be
Okay.
deleted.
So the question is, right? The question is, no, it's not even a question. So JaVale lost to my caddy, right? What was the score? Can anybody tell me the score real fast? Well, okay. JaVale lost to my caddy. If you could DM me, Scream, or Weezy, the score to that game, the score to that my caddy versus Vel game that he lost to. DM me the score, or Weezy, you get what is it again? I
You
always
get
forget.
+2. We'll ask. You know what? Yeah, we'll do it +2. +2 to your team selection for Madden 24.
There we go. +2 teams. No. That +2 wagers, man. +2
+2 wager
wagers.
points.
+2
Okay.
wagers. Yes. Everybody, because I need people to participate. So you DM me, Weezy, or Scream, you get +2 wagers, and we gotta talk to motherfucking Trent, cause we need some goddamn wager points too. But
Well,
we gotta
okay.
talk to
First
Weezy. The
off, I
man's
have
in
a
charge.
suggestion. I have a suggestion for that. I think we need a chat, a channel in Discord where people can make those requests.
Ooh, I like that.
Simply because that way you have tracking. Because like me, I was trying to hunt down whoever to get my wagers, and I finally got them in. I don't know if they've been updated. I'm not mad if they're not, but
Yeah,
we need a
it's
tracking
updated.
system that's easier for people to say, okay, I want to do this for season 1. Here's all my wager points wasted. For season 2, here's my wager points wasted. So there's a better tracking system. And the only reason I'm saying that is because when people can write it themselves and not lose their thoughts, it's easier to track stuff. Like the wager channel, you see how you write in there the wagers and you can put an X or a check. If somebody has a chat where they say, like for me, I did Tyquan Thornton +5 catching traffic. Once the check mark is there, it means it's been done and those points have officially been wasted. That's just a suggestion. So
it's crazy because everything you said. Well, last year we had that, but somebody took it away, and it's right now. It's not 8:40 p.m. Me and Trent said this shit an hour ago. So everything you said, and I ain't saying you wasted your breath.
It's definitely being set
Crazy.
up for you though, Weezy. It's definitely being set up for you.
nah,
Yeah,
it's just
no,
it's not
it's
that
just crazy how you thought of that.
it's not a
It's crazy
waste
how
of
you
breath.
thought.
It's just a fact of, again, like we said before, making the league better. It's not a waste of breath at all.
Yeah,
It's a make the league better
but yeah,
thing.
no, we had it, but somebody took it away. I'm not in charge. I'm just me.
So yeah, DM that score, DM that score to that loss
But
that Vel took to my
people,
caddy.
but like right now, as of today, like if anytime somebody updates something, we have a chat. It's just private. It's just only for us. It's just y'all can't see
Yeah,
it.
I think that's fine, but
And
I think it should be
No, I get what
viewable
you're
and
saying. Yeah,
be
but I'm saying like
no,
your
no. It
point
just needs
is
to be
people
read
don't
and
care.
only for some
hold
people.
on,
Just read only. That's
I
all.
don't mean to cut you off. And to make shit more interesting, right? I'm cursing now because that's something you know, right? You know I
The
don't really
real
curse
OG
like that.
back. Uh-oh.
So I need y'all to send some highlights, right? And I need y'all to send some highlights because for every winner, we're gonna give +10 team selection. +10 team selection for every winner.
What?
So Yes,
because
plus 10.
we don't
I
have
need
no highlights this week.
I
To be
need
real
y'all
with you,
to start sending some highlights.
we don't have nothing this week. I'm not putting no
That's a lot,
energy. I'm not
bro. That's a
putting
lot.
no energy into. At the end of the day, it's for league activity. I'm not putting no energy into creating a highlight reel and showing the league off if people are not going to participate. That's just pointless. That's
Question:
wasted energy.
Is there
I
a
ain't got time
max
for
to
that.
how many times you going out the year? Because if somebody
Yeah, yeah,
win 10 times,
we said
We
that. We
said
said that.
one, but I
Weezy.
think that might have turned some people off. But at the end of the day,
We change it to 2. We'll change it to
we'll
2.
change it to
We
two and make
changing
it
the
easier
rules
for
out
people.
here.
if
We
Yeah,
somebody win
changing the
10
rules
times,
out
that's
here.
100. That's 100 points they got.
Yo,
yeah.
bro, we
But if
said
you
we
win
changing it to
two,
2.
you win
Chill.
two per season.
Yo,
That's only
No,
two
I'm just
games.
saying. I'm just saying that's a lot of 10 points. Goddamn.
I mean, you
Hey,
get
you
plus 10 for
participate
pick
in the
two game
league,
of the week.
like you
It's just,
said. People write
bro.
stories.
Okay, so
I
put
mean,
it like this though, Weezy. A game of the week every single week. The prime time slot for game of the week is Wednesdays. We have not come up with a select time, but Wednesday is the day. If between 6 and 9 p.m. is gonna always be game of the week on Wednesday if we can make it. That's the day that I chose. That's the day me and Pac are always aiming for. So again, I'm calling y'all out about that. If y'all want to be on game of the week, be free Wednesday nights. That's really it. And whether it's
Hey,
all three of us on the call, whether it's just me, whether it's me and Wes,
ooh.
or it's just me and somebody I pick, it don't matter.
Wait,
Wednesday
time out,
night,
screen. Did you just say me, you, and Weezy could be on the call?
bruh,
that's fucking lit.
what we doing
That's lit.
right now on the podcast, and I'm gonna say this out loud to them because we've talked about it already. I don't care. We could do a live episode of the podcast, just like the sportscasters be doing before these football games, bruh. Like the Thursday night, the Thursday night game yesterday. They talk before the game. They
My
talk at
son tongue
halftime.
game was
They
real right
talk.
there.
Shut the hell up. They talk before the game. They talk middle, at half, and they talk after. We could do that same kind of style like it's nothing. We have the production
Hey,
for it. We have the skills to get that stuff done. But it's
mm,
just that we want to see energy from the users too, not just us.
And
That's all it is.
they have the best analysts or broadcasters out of everybody. Richard
Yeah, they
Sherman,
have
Tony
former
Gonzalez.
players, recent former players, not
Yeah,
dudes that's been gone for
exactly.
5-6 years.
It's
That is a
fucking
good point.
recent. Thank you,
It's
bro.
a good point.
hey,
I
but
I
can we
lit-
get some losers on there too, though? Like, can we get some losers?
I don't
Like, it'd
care
be cool to
what
get
game.
some losers.
Okay, so here's the problem with game of the week, right? And Pat said it in the chat both times. You think it's gonna be a good game. You hype it up to be a good game, like Trent versus Gons. We thought it was gonna be a good game, a shootout, a last second winner. Trent smoked that man, and Gons came back because he was forcing the ball, and Trent stopped caring. When Trent go, who cares? He start toying with dudes. Okay,
Hey, don't say that word. Don't say that word.
I said what I said. I ain't taking it back. So then you go to this past week when you got Itchy versus Rhino. And usually every single time we pick a game of the week game, it's always a wager game too, which is a good thing because it promotes league activity. People want to see who wins and get their wagers off. So a lot of people had Rhino. Some more people had Itchy. Itchy won. It wasn't a blowout, but he just contained Rhino to a point where it was like, damn, you want the game to be a little bit closer, but it won't. We had
Wedding
Jay versus
sheets.
Dunf. People think Jay still stinking. Jay out here going to the playoffs.
8 and
Jay
5. Shout out
beat
to Jay.
blood from Dunf. Big shout out to Jay. Dunf, my guy. Tommy, my guy. But Jay beat blood from him on game of the week. I don't care what your record is. I don't care if you're ass. I don't care if you're good. If you want to be on game of the week, talk to me. Talk to Pat.
Hey,
Be free
but
Wednesday nights. That's it. That's all I got for you.
I got a conversation for
it's kind of
next
like what
week
you
now.
said though. It's no league activity because it's like I'm gonna use two people for example. I'm gonna use two users who just had a good game. It was the Giants versus the Cowboys. Neither one of them talked, and they won by 1 point. I'm saying like users like that. I wouldn't mind seeing them both play, but they don't say shit. So it's like what you gonna keep? Nobody talk but the same 10 people. Like my caddy, they don't talk. The Giants and Cowboys, they don't talk. Who else don't talk? Undisputed don't talk. I'm just gonna name people.
Undisputed talked with his brother Tag him about some bullshit.
Okay, yeah, okay. Who
Big
else doesn't
Panasas.
talk? Like I'm saying, like, think about it. Same people talk, so it's like I get what y'all saying, but and then you gotta chase down the users who don't talk. Do you want to play? You gotta keep DMing them compared to you and OG. Y'all wanna beat? Yeah, I'm down. So if they're not talking, you're not about to keep chasing motherfucker to be on game of the week because they don't want to play. I mean, they don't talk. Like, think about it. If you go and chat, once this podcast over, if we type the name in, when the last time they talked in general about
Can I
anything?
be honest though? I want to be honest. Some people are afraid of that light, that
Yeah,
summer
People
jam
are afraid of that
screen.
summer jam screen, bro. I
yeah.
say it all the time. It's the
They
truth.
don't want to be trolled. They want
But
to
at
be
the end of the
true.
day, it's not even about the trolls though, bro. I'm gonna use Mo Juice as an example because you brought him up. We've seen Mo Juice always picking the top 5 of AGS history, damn near, and he's always
Left
picked
them on
his
zip.
hometown Giants. The only time he didn't have was like one time I think he had like the Titans. That was the year I didn't play because somebody else picked him.
No. Last year he had another team too.
Yeah,
Season.
Left them on zip.
But see, at the end of the day, he's gonna stay in the league because he's an active user. He's an active user. He's been here from the inception, so that's that.
No, and the support behind the scenes. People, so there's a lot of people that support really behind the scenes, like my caddy, for instance.
Man,
Moju's. They do. They
No, Mo Juice
when
def support behind the scenes. Like, that's a
hold on,
fact.
hold on. When we go around, let's say when something happens to one of our users and we go
Well,
around collecting
money. I'm
pots
talking
of
about
money.
active in the chat, like you said. You somebody on the active in the chat. If they're not active in the chat, how they gonna play a game of the week if they don't talk in the chat?
Yo, Weezy, there's some people that's active in the chat that won't even give us $5.
That is
Oh,
true.
They won't
that's
even give us
definitely.
$1.
Oh, I know that because me and Jay. Never shut up. You're right.
And this is what I'm saying. And those users that don't speak, when I do shoot them a DM or a private message and be like, hey, et cetera happen, you think you could hold us down? And they be holding it down. It's no joke. And the people that
So
talk
you gotta look at it. OG, some people listen. Me and you look at it different. How somebody else look at it different. We look at it. We talk every day. We actually text. I actually call you before we FaceTime. We actually talk compared to other users, bro. We are strangers. You look at it different. Like I get what you're thinking, but in they head, bro. What's his name? West is a stranger.
We've been rocking. We've been rocking
Listen,
for 20. We've been rocking for like 8 years.
That's
no
to
bull,
you.
bro. Like we've been rocking. What was it? Madden 16? It's Madden 23
Yeah, 8
now,
years.
bro.
8 years. And I personally met some of these cats in the chat, like 5, 6 people in the chat. I personally met.
Again, you making it about you. That's you.
Okay, so you saying somebody will give somebody, a random person, $5 on OnlyFans, but they can't give $5 to somebody they watch on the daily, like Wes or
That
Scream
is
or.
a very good point.
You just comparing porn and getting off to this.
This is a slight get off. Because this is like a slight get off. This is a getaway. This is a step away from real life when you come in here and then you get to potentially manage or fake be in control of a team. Like that's a dream for some people, and you get to do it in reality, like in virtual reality. Like so, and
OG,
if you talk them,
OG, we all are grown men. We all listen. I get what you're saying from your point of view, but I also get the other people's point of view. They're not giving
okay. Let me say something else. Because some people be yapping at the chat that they got this amount of money.
See, now you're getting personal. I know what you're trying to say.
Well, hold on.
No, I'm just saying though. Like
Before we take it
if
there,
we,
right?
we
The point
I'm just
in
saying if
contention,
we
what OG is
yeah,
saying,
we just went
is
left.
that
Just
people
support.
are able
saying,
to
but what about the people who
contribute to
don't
the
talk
league.
at all?
No, I'm with both of y'all. I understand both sides of it. I play the advocate for both of y'all. I get both sides of it because I've been on both sides of it. People be flexing in the chat, acting like they got it all, and then they don't contribute to the league, and then wonder why they don't get good karma. Whereas people who are giving good karma to the league may not be the best of users, or they may not say nothing out loud because you don't have to speak to show your worth to somebody. That's what OG is saying. Like again, a Mo Juice. Mo Juice is showing his worth by being loyal to the league and whatever he does behind the scenes, which some of us know, some of us don't, and it ain't everybody's business. But if you in the chat flexing like you got it like this, you got it like that, you talking all that talk, okay, so back up your talk by supporting the league that you in. That's all.
It's funny because even some of like in real life time, celebrities and rappers be speaking about this, about people not supporting the black owned thing. I'm not saying this is black. I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying like think something that you involved in and support something, give back something. It doesn't even have to be money. It could be an idea, a graphic.
So I'm still being annoyed about what about the users who don't talk and who don't give money because they are fucking strangers. They just want to play the game. They just want to play the game.
But that's what I just said. Again,
Yo, bro, we're not strangers no more. People could really say, "I know Weezy."
Not talk, OG. I get what you're OG. Everybody here.
You keep saying strangers.
It's 32 users. Okay, tell me one thing you know about. Let me go down the list. You think everybody here have the best friends? Okay, let me go down the list. Like I get what you're saying, but you just
go ahead. Go down the list. Go down the list because I got something for everybody. Because I know all 32 people.
No, the fuck you don't. Stop it.
Put somebody out there. Go ahead, randomly. Go ahead.
What's the teams right now? Because you just really out here. You going?
Go ahead.
And
Hurry up.
this is outside of the Bang, the L Mail, because they new. They
No,
ain't.
but I'm saying, if they don't get no money, they don't have to. We don't know them. We don't know them. We don't know fucking.
That's an outlier though, bro. You going off of outliers when he's talking about all
He-
30 other people. You know what I'm saying? That's
Tell me one
that's
thing you know
proving his
about
point.
Javi Ball out.
He's new.
Him?
You're trying to justify
Yeah,
new people.
he's in the army. He's in the army. He's
Bro,
Omega's good man, and
bro.
Ao. That's how we know them.
Them
Bolout
people.
is his cousin.
Listen, bro. They don't
No, keep
have.
going. I just told you a little bit about him. Keep going. Next name.
They don't have to do
Next.
nothing to us because we don't listen.
Next.
It's a video
Next.
game for them. It's a video game to them. It's a video game to them. It's a video
No,
game.
listen. People chat with people, right? And people.
Certain people.
You think okay? I'm not gonna join
Javi only
another.
talk because I
No,
listen.
let me say something.
Right now, Keith. Right now on your computer. Look at the last time Javi talked. He only talked because I showed him because I beat him. He hasn't talked since. They don't have to talk. They don't have to give money.
I bet you ask him for $5 you'll send it out. But anyway,
I think the spectrum that Weezy is looking from is a fact of people are only active based on their talking activity when that's not the only activity there, and that's what OG is literally saying. There's a difference between.
I'm just trying to say like we like basically family. Like
nothing
GMO for
versus doing
example,
things behind
he
the scenes.
built his own card store, and I was so lucky to help him build his logo. If you look at his logo, me and him came up with that from scratch. Dope concept, though everything. And I helped him come up with that. I didn't have to do that, and you know what he did? Sent my son out some Pokemon cards. This is what I'm saying as far as like banding together and just chipping in, like league wise. Like he asked me for a favor. I told him, yo, listen, I'm a funny dude. I just do memes. Like I'm not nice with the graphics. He said, nah, I trust your ability. And we worked on that together and it happened. Which is why I always would support him in what he do. Cause he believed. And that's all it takes. Like, and I'm not saying just money. Let's say Moju's be like, yo, I got this good idea. We could and Moju does contribute because he always DMs me, and I believe he DM'd Weezy on ideas we could brand for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
SJM the same thing. I just think that we've been together so long, the support should be there heavy.
Yeah, and with that support situation, you know, as OG and Weezy are both saying, you know, if you got ideas, please do not be afraid to contribute the ideas via DM to me, Weezy, or OG. We say it every episode. We do not hesitate to take criticism for anything that we do on Sunday OJ. As far as them being commissioned, the rule suggestion stuff, don't ask me nothing about that. I ain't got nothing for you.
Don't ask me nothing either.
Yeah, but nah, just, you know, I think all in all, we would love to see all 32 plus even the waitlist people support the league in a way that shows that you guys actually care. Not a who cares vibes, but you know, I love my league kind of deal. And we get it. Most of y'all are in multiple leagues. AGS may not be your first league, but you know,
no, it is their first league. I think by the minus of 30, I think there's 30 people in there that AGS is their first league.
Yeah, just make sure you show your league love, and that's all they asking for. They ain't asking you to pay the bills and keep the lights on.
You know what I miss? I miss when Weezy used to talk shit about the other leagues, man. I miss that.
No, don't do that because I got multiple DMs from y'all saying.
Yeah, I got put.
Yeah,
I had to get
political.
political.
I did have to.
Exactly, don't do that.
Text him personally. I had to call that man phone. Remember that big ass tournament we had with like 7, 8 leagues, and he was going crazy, and they wanted him kicked out. I had to call him.
Yeah, he went crazy on dude. He went crazy on dude.
I had to call his phone and tell him to calm down. So yeah,
about a simple rule, he was coming at the son crazy. And dude created the whole tournament.
Yeah, that was wild. Weezy. But it just goes to show Weezy going Weezy. That's him. You know what I'm saying? But
good times.
Yeah. I gotta pull up. I gotta pull up to Virginia. We gotta have this live in person. All three of us sitting down.
January 7th. I'm having a sneaker ball for my 30th birthday.
That's all. But Gene say where? Still ain't say where at yet.
I ain't got all the details yet, man. We working on that. We got 3 months to figure that out. So just know
I got 3 months to get some exclusives.
It's a Saturday. It's gonna be lit, man. It's gonna.
Is AGS invited? That's what you're saying?
I mean, if you can make it, you can make it. And I
right. Rhino gonna pull up with some great chicken ones.
New balances.
Yeah, man. So bring your best suit, bring your sneakers, man. Show off. We're gonna have a good time. That's all that's about, man.
And is it BYOB? Bring your own bitch.
Def BYOB. It'll be. We probably do a DJ and liquor. We still getting the stuff out, man. But once I get everything solidified and shit like that, just hit me and we'll talk more about it. We'll get it all together.
And on to these highlights.
Ain't none. Ain't no highlights this week, man. People ain't turned nothing in too much. I also didn't tag them in the chat. We didn't even do the poll last week for the highlights. So,
I sent the highlights though for this week. You saw them, right? You got them? I sent 2 of them. Did you see them?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: highlights only count if they are put in the highlight chat. So
I'm saying for this week coming up, like this podcast. I sent.
Just put them in the highlight chat, and they will get put on this episode. There really ain't that many highlights. I'm gonna tag the chat, so y'all hear me here right now. I'm gonna go. Tag
you want me to? So you want me to do that? You got him in your text messages.
No, that's not the bro. You got to do what the other. How you gonna talk about activity in the league and then not be active in the league? Talk about it. Talk about it. Okay, so that's not cool, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's some clips in there, but I will do my best to make some highlights this week. We still got to get the poll up for last week. Just put your highlights in the chat when you get them. Don't wait to the last minute. That's the only suggestion I got for y'all. I am going to tag everybody right now and tell them go ahead and put their highlights in. I'll get that done tomorrow. And at the end of this episode, we're going to run the highlights like usual. Y'all go vote in the chat. We're going to get plus 10 to team selection next season, man. So I like what we talked about this episode. This was fun. No bull.
I actually wrote it down in a book. That's why I had some questions in my book. That's why.
Keith, I just put in my highlights for my 2 highlights. Okay.
I got Weezy, thank you. That's all I needed, bro. But you got to pick one. It's only one per week. So.
Oh shit! Oh my god! I'll be right back then.
Just put a check mark on whichever one you want.
Hey Weezy, I need spicy Weezy next week.
Nah, all facts. Yeah. I need that. I need.
Listen,
no.
You losing. You soft now. You soft now. You soft now. I hope so. You soft now. Like you soft. Capital SOFT. Listen, when I get my shit together, I'm gonna have these buttons because we need. Remember when we had the bitch. I still got him here. I gotta. We'll talk about that offline. But yeah, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and definitely, stop with the who cares. Start winning. Less who cares, more dubs.
Just know the name of this episode is gonna be Who Cares, and whatever meme I get sent is gonna be the thumbnail. I didn't do no thumbnail last week. I was very lazy last week. Very rushed production. I am gonna apologize for that. This week I ain't rushing nothing.
Meme ready.
It's 2 times rec.
Gonna get the meme
in 2K on Saturday. So yeah, this is gonna get done tonight.
Hey Keith,
make sure y'all stop that Who Cares shit, man. Real shit.
Okay.
Keith, you never answered my question either.
Oh, what was that? I'm sorry.
Is Call of Duty free tomorrow?
Yes. Call of Duty beta.
Again, it's Taylor. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor. First down, and they stick with Eckler. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, LA. They run it again with Chubb. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And all the way in. Touchdown.